Let's talk about two-hand pushes. I posted a video recently of a dude, a couple guys in a bathroom. One dude shoves the other dude and then immediately just follows up with punch after punch after punch and just completely knocks the dude out. Now, there's a lot of videos out there, and we've even learned a lot of techniques on how to defend two-hand pushes. And a lot of instructors tend to focus on how to defend the push itself. But if we're sitting here having an argument, we're talking, we're screaming at each other, and I just shove them, like, your ability to react to that is minimal, if not impossible. It doesn't matter if it's a two-hand push or a one-hand push. Like, you just can't see it coming, especially it's coming up from the center line. It's very difficult to see. It's also why like teep kicks are hard to defend, right? Because it's under that center line. It's difficult to see. What we need to be focusing on is what's coming after that two-hand push. Now, in reality, no one really just pushes you and then just stands there and does nothing, right? The push usually is a setup for something else. It's usually here, and now I'm gonna come at you with punches. It's this, and I'm gonna draw a weapon. Whatever the case is, maybe I'm shoving you into a wall, and now my buddies are coming in, whatever the case is. So it's what we have to learn when we're defending two-hand pushes is we have to be prepared for what's next. And there's a couple ways that we can do that, right? If he pushes me, first and foremost, if we're in an open space, and again, this is under the assumption that we've failed at everything else. Didn't run away, didn't de-escalate, whatever the case is. I'm involved now. Violence is imminent. So we know we're about to be physical, right? He shoves me. If I have opportunity to run away at this point, like he just gave it to me. He just pushed me, gave me the momentum. See you, I'm going to turn and take off running, right? That's your best bet if you have the ability to run. Right now, we're kind of in an enclosed space. I don't really have anywhere to go. The exit is actually behind him, so I have to deal with the situation, right? So if somebody pushes you, my first thing should not be trying to like catch these arms and do any of this fancy crap. It should be my hands immediately come up if they weren't already. Now, if my hands were already up and I was already dealing with the situation, yeah, sure, now I can probably deal with the push in itself. Or if I see him loading up, I can come in and throw a strike if I need to, right? I can deal with that if my hands are up ready to go. But if we're here and he pushes me, my hands need to come up right away. Now you have to start kind of dealing with options and seeing what's going on, right? If he continues to approach me at this point, like, sure, I can start now working kicks and maintain that distance, right? Again, he gave me distance. I'm going to keep it. That could be simply just throwing teep kicks. That could be trying to now work and put stuff between me and him so that he can't get to me, or again, we run away if that's a possibility. Now, in the video, it was pretty much a shove and immediately just following in with punches. If you don't have the ability to get your hands up fast enough, then we have to essentially shell. And again, shell, shield, turtle, all revolve, same principle, right? He pushes me, immediately follows up with something else. I'm just going to shield myself and protect myself from whatever's coming, whatever kind of strike is coming. Haymakers, straight punches, whatever, I am protected in this situation. Now again, this isn't something where I just shield up and I just stay here. It's understanding that he pushed me. I see now that he's loading up with a punch of some sort, and I'm now just going to essentially step in, lower my base a little bit, get grounded, protect my head, and then from there we immediately counter with it, right? So if he throws that punch and I shield up, I can immediately just look to tie up with this person, if that's my experience, if I want to. If we're in an enclosed space, like I could try tying up, maybe look to sweep him down, maybe work to take his back. That's an option if you want. Or he throws it in, I counter, and I immediately open up with strikes of my own, and now we're engaging in a fist fight, right? But it's just understanding that I'm not defending the push, I'm defending what's coming after the push. Same thing could be if it's like a weapon draw. He pushes me to create that space, I see him drawing for a weapon, I'm going to immediately look to crash in. Or I'm immediately going to look to crash and throw a strike and work towards getting grips and control of his arm. But I'm not focused on trying to defend the actual push. One-hand push is the exact same thing. If they're pushing me, I'm going to essentially accept that push, but I'm now preparing for whatever it is that he's loading up next. That's what you need to start paying attention to. So if you're learning, here's a single arm push defense, here's a two-hand push defense, that's not really something you should be spending your time on. What you should be spending your time on is learning to see and react to what comes after those pushes and learning how to react accordingly to what's after the pushes. Because again, if we're in physical altercations, my ability to push you happens so fast that we don't have time to react. And if you're focused more on defending this, you're not going to see the punch that's coming right after. So again, you have options. If they push me and they give me that space, I'm going to look to create that space if I have the opportunity to run away. Again, we're already in a fight. I don't want to be in the fight. He gave me an out. I'm going to take it. If he pushes me and he creates that space and I don't have anywhere to run, then I'm going to keep this space. If he keeps coming at me, now I'm going to start throwing kicks. If he gets too close, then I'm going to look to throw that first punch, right? If he pushes me and immediately follows up with a punch, then I'm gonna shield, crash into him a little bit. Again, I can look to tie up any way, shape, or form, or I can literally absorb the punch and then immediately look to counter on my own, and we go from there. If he pushes me, and I'm, let's backtrack a little bit. If he pushes me maybe up against like a wall and I don't have anywhere to go and he just walks towards me, well then I'm gonna take those first strikes. Because again, that two-hand push is an assault. That is an aggressive attack. Now I can immediately just look to follow up with strikes of my own and we can go from there. So just remember, if we are dealing with a self-defense situation, especially two-hand pushes like we saw in the video at the beginning, don't be worried about the push itself. Be worried about what's coming next and learn how to prepare for that instead. Stay safe.